Hi guys, my name is Courtney and I am a zoo tech student at Jefferson Community College, and this was my internship experience at the Utica Zoo. I completed a 9-week internship that was 360 hours. I am about to show you the animals I worked with every day and the routine I did, and some facts about each animal. I worked with 2 Bactrian camels, one female named Nala and one male named Furlough. In both pictures, Nala is on the left and Furlough is on the right. You can tell the difference between them because Furlough is A, he's bigger, and 2, the males always have a beard. I would do a camel feeding and talk every day at 11:30. But before I did any talk, I had to clean the camel yard. When I first started, the camels had diarrhea, shown in the bottom middle picture, so we had to give them a mixture that we called camel Gatorade. It was a bucket of water with 8 teaspoons of salt and 4 teaspoons of baking soda and 2 cups of corn syrup. The mixture was to keep the camels hydrated, and after a few weeks the camel's feces looked normal, like the top picture in the middle. On the left, I am cleaning part of the yard, meaning I had to rake up all the feces and I had to make sure the fence was okay and there was no holes. And on the right, I am attempting to throw some hay in the hay feeder, which we throw 5 flakes of hay in the morning in the feeder. Sometimes it didn't always end up in there, so I had to pick it up off the ground. Next is the peafowl. There are 3.3.1 sex ratio. The 3 boys are Merlin, the white one, Boone is in the middle, and Arthur is fanned out on the right. Merlin is the oldest, then it's Boone, and Arthur is still a juvenile, so he is the youngest out of the 3. We don't know who exactly is his father, but I noticed throughout my internship, Arthur would take turns following them, each. The boys have the freedom to roam the zoo because they have all their flight feathers, unlike the females, who are Avalon, Angevina, and Isis. Avalon is on the bottom left, Angevina is on the bottom right, and Isis is on the top, and also with her little chick underneath. It was really cool because my first day there, the chick was born. So it is about 2 months old now, and we're not 100% sure the sex yet. Here is a video of Boone doing his courtship ritual. I was very lucky to be able to be in the exhibit that time cleaning when he decided to do that. So who knows, maybe he was trying to win me over. So we actually thought Boone did it and won Javina over. Because if you looked in the last picture, she was laying on a nest box. She was currently laying on 3 eggs, but they ended up not being fertile. And this video is going to demonstrate how we found out they were not fertile.
We grabbed a bowl or a bucket and we filled it with warm water. Not hot, not cold, just warm so we don't put the baby in shock if there still is a baby inside. So this egg will not do the same thing because it is not fertile. But, for example, what we would do is we would take the egg, place it in the water, and it would float either way because A, it's past 30 days so it's a bad egg, so bad eggs will float, and the other way it would float because there's a baby inside. So for us to tell if there's a baby, the egg would gently move around. And if there was no baby, the egg would stay still. So since the egg is staying still, our egg obviously is not good. But what we would do would actually grab something with a hard surface to double check it if there was no baby. We would crack it open and double check that it's actually just yolk. and not a baby inside.
So since the egg is staying still, our egg obviously not good. But what we would do would actually grab something with a hard surface, double check it, there's no baby. We would crack it open, and double check that it's actually just yolk and not a baby inside. The next animal I worked with was a Chinese muntjac. A lot of visitors mistaken them for baby deer or even baby goats, but actually they're full-size deer. I worked with 4 boys, Joe, Matthew, Leonard, and Lawrence. This is Joe. He was always by my side. If I was cleaning, feeding, putting new hay in his bedding, he was always by my side. He was the friendliest out of all. And you can tell which is him, well, by A, he's always by your side, or B, he'll have no tags in his ears. And here, on the left, Leonard, he has 1 tag in each ear. Matthew in the middle, he only has 1 gold tag, and it's in his right ear. And then Lawrence on the right has, well, not 2, but he has 1 tag in each ear. Oh, I'm mistaken that. He has 2 tags in 1 ear. Here are the Hartman Mountain zebra. There are 2 males, Kasan and Rundu. They are father and son, Kasan being the father, Rundu being the son. They took a good chunk of my time during the day cleaning up after them, cleaning their exhibit, barn, and also their outdoor paddock. Probably took me a good hour, but if it's disinfect day, then add another 20 minutes onto that. When we disinfect, we have to wash all their bowls and their water tubs, which there's an outdoor one and indoor one, and scrub the mats and the floors. It took me the longest time to tell them apart, but by the end, I figured it out and became a pro. The picture on the left shows Rundu on the left and Kasan on the right. There's 2 ways to tell the difference. One is if you look at the picture on the right, that is Rundu, and you can tell by looking at his face. Under his eye, he has like a Y marking where the stripes don't connect to anything, and where Kasan, his stripes connect everywhere, which leads to number 2, meaning the second way you can tell the difference, which is by looking at the back, on their back towards their butts. Rundu's stripes come down his back and don't connect to anything. Now Kasan, his actually connect together and they form like boxes or square-like. Another animal that share the zebra exhibit that I see every day are the ostrich. There are 2 girls and 1 boy. The girls are Bina and Bushara, and the male is Boomer. The way you can tell the difference of the girls is that Bushara is missing some feathers on her neck. So if you look at the picture on your left, that is Bushara. The middle is Boomer, and the right is Bina. They all have their own personalities. Boomer, while he's a male, he always has to be the big, strong, bold one, and also the boss. Bina, she's always dancing. She always takes her feathers, well, her wings, and put them out, puts her head down, and shakes. And Bushara is always the curious one, looking over the fence, wondering what you're doing. In the beginning of my internship, one of the females laid an egg. It shocked me when I saw it was almost as big as my hand. Actually, almost bigger than my hand. You may be wondering if the egg hatched. Well, no, it did not, sadly, because Boomer did not sit on it. Yes, the males sit on the eggs, not the female. Then I thought it would be cool to show you what an ostrich skull looked like. So, there it is. An interesting animal I worked with was the serval. There is only a female, and her name is Annie. She is 12 years old, and she's been at the Utica Zoo for 6 years. She was an interesting feline to work with because she was so moody until she got her food. She stole my heart the way she was acting. Fun fact, out of all the big cats, servals are the most successful in catching their prey. They succeed 50% of the time, while others, including cheetahs, only succeed 30% of their time. These three always put a smile on my face, every day. These are the ring-tailed lemurs, and they're cuter than ever. These three boys are Cedar on the left, Hermes in the middle that's sitting on the slide, and Hawthorne on the right. They are all brothers. I've learned that they are primates, but they're not monkeys. They are prosimians, whereas monkeys are anthropoids. Some differences that lemurs are that monkeys aren't, more like why they're not monkeys, is that lemurs do not have prehensile tails, meaning they can't use their tails to hang from trees or help them climb in any way. And they don't use their hands to eat food with, or to grab their food with, or to groom each other. Instead, they use their mouth or their teeth to do so. Another fact is that they spend a good amount of time on the ground, where monkeys actually like to be in trees off the ground. Did you know that lemurs have scent glands? Well, yeah, they do in a few places, including their wrists, chest, and their private area. They use them to mark their territory and also to help within winning over the females, which they have to fight hard for because, if I'm not mistaken, a female can only get pregnant one day out of the year. Here, I have a video showing the boys using their wrists and chest glands marking their area. Cedar was last to mark that territory because we believe in the past, the last facility he came from, he was the most dominant. And we conclude that because he is the biggest out of the three, and plus he likes to eat all the food, so he's food dominant as well. So I'm pretty sure that is why he marked the territory last, to make his scent more out there to the others. Next, we have the striped hyenas, one male and one female. The male is Connie and the female is Amara. I have learned that hyenas like fruits and veggies, and not just meat, but they do like their fruits over their veggies more. They get sweet potatoes and apples in the AM, then they get their meat in the PM. You can tell the difference by the body size. No, actually the male is not bigger than the female. Amara is actually bigger than Connie. Amara likes to eat more food and steal Connie's food when she gets a chance. And plus, she is on birth control, which could also be a cause in weight gain. But also another way is their ear notches. Connie has a notch in his right, and Amara has one in her left. These two handsome fellows are Canadian lynx. I believe they came from Watertown Zoo. Their names are Breton and Logan. Breton is on the left, Logan is on the right. It is very difficult to tell the difference between these guys. Really, you have to just know their personalities. Logan is like a grumpy cat, and Breton is the more curious and outgoing one. Also, Logan is bigger than Breton. A good way to tell them apart is when they're closer together, because Logan has a more serious face than Breton, and like I said, the body size as well. But still today, if they're running around, it's very difficult to know who is who. But these two have definitely made my internship very interesting. Very moody cats. One enrichment I did for them was I made them a teepee out of sticks and brush, and they enjoyed it very well, and they made my day. They weren't grumpy for once. And this is Edgar, the raven I worked with. He was very skittish, so I couldn't do much around him, but I always went in to give him his fresh water and food. And when I went in there, I talked to him calmly and I walked slowly around, so I kept him calm and kept his stress levels low. Edgar shares an North American porcupine named Oneida. He gets hand-fed bananas and then gets his food in his bowl, and he always dumps it. It was the cutest thing, and it just always made me laugh. Fun fact about porcupines, they don't shoot their quills. I've always heard that, and I always believed that, until I started this internship. Their quills are actually loosely on their skin, not on their skin, but in their skin. So if they do get scared and they do spike their quills up, they don't shoot out, but for example, a dog goes towards them and touches them, then the porcupine can jump back and the quills will actually get stuck in the dog's skin when the porcupine moves away. So they're not shooting them out, it's just loosely in their skin. Here are two female Arctic foxes, Mariah and Athena. They're sisters, and they are very interesting to observe. At first, that's all I could do, because I didn't have my rabies vaccination paperwork transferred to the zoo yet. But the last few days, it made my day because I actually got to go in with them and feed them and clean up after them. Mariah is the only, Mariah is the one laying on the stump, and Athena is in front. They were currently going through shedding, meaning they were shedding off their winter coat and going into their fall phase, which their coat would be more gray. The reason why they do this is to blend in with their environment. And Mariah is the one with the less white on the top right picture, and Athena is on the bottom right. They both had their own personalities as well. Mariah was the more skittish one. Even though she looks relaxed in this, she was always the one running around. I feel like she had more energy. They were both very hyper. Athena was the curious one. She would always come up close to me. And she would always try eating more food than Mariah. So another way to tell the difference is their coat, which isn't always a good way to tell the difference, I learned, because once they shed it off their winter coat, it got very difficult to tell the difference. But if you look closely, Athena is bigger than Mariah. Last but not least, Sierra. When I first got to Utica and started interning, I took care of 2 female Mexican wolves, but sadly, her sister Aztec passed away recently, which is very sad. But for Sierra, I got to go in her holding area with the doors closed so there's no contact with her. And I got to change her water and give her food in the PM and clean up after her den if needed to be. Sierra is currently 12 years old and doing well. So that was it with all the animals that I worked with, but I got to have a little fun outside of the animal world, and I got to learn how to shoot a dart gun and blow darts, but I only have a video of me shooting the dart gun. I got frustrated the first time, so I had to try again. When I get frustrated, I just missed, but here's me trying to do it. And here's me the second time.
Right, and you have to support it enough so it's not like the recoil.
I shot a shotgun. What did you do with it?
And that time, I hit the target, but instead of just hitting the target like everyone else, mine went through the target. So that was fun. One more thing is that I'm proud of myself because I improved a skill. And that skill is, drum roll, da-da-da-da-da, me improving my skills of overcoming snakes. Not 100% there, but I have definitely improved. On the left and on the right, I'm holding Lizzie. I believe she's 20 years old, and she's a ball python. And in the middle, I don't remember her name, but I do know she's a western hognose, and I believe they're venomous. But I did it, guys. I am holding snakes. Thank you to the courage I've gotten from the other interns and the staff here at Utica Zoo. I do recommend this internship to any other that would have interest in it. It was a lot of fun. If you're wondering what section and area I did hoof stock and trail. It's a lot of work, but it was definitely worth it. And I can't wait to continue my career choice as a zookeeper.